Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahshua Bashem Kakodash. Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video, They Know Who They Are. Or They Know Exactly Who They Are. And all praises, once again, to Yahweh Bashem Yahshua Bashem Kakodash for putting the spirit on chosen men to push this narrative, to push this truth out, and now it's coming out so they can see it. They've been trained. We train these Edomites. You know, when we say jump, they're saying how high. So they're coming out with the truth, right? Anyway, I put in where are the E's today. Bring me a drop-down menu. Who are the modern-day descendants of E? It says descendants of E. Now listen at this. Descendants of E include the historical founders of Russia, China, and Japan. E and his offshoots from the people of Seir was important in the genesis of ancient Sparta, which original rulers of Sparta were Jake. E came on up in there. Of early Rome, it was Esau that took down or replaced the Etruscans, the Picts, the Minoans, which are the people of the South Pacific. Those islands on the South Pacific, the Hawaiians, the Samoans, those islands, South Pacific islands, those are Japhet. So the Etruscans are sons of Japhet. It says of Venice, which is in Italy, and of Germany, and of numerous other nations. E was also known as Edom. Let me see something. Who did the Edomites worship? I don't know where I'm going to go with this. Who's the god of Edom? Now, the first god of Edom was Yahweh. Esau was taught by his parents, Isaac and Rebekah, mainly Isaac, that this is the power, the God we worship. His name is Yahweh. He was also known as Alashadya. Oh, which, by the way, T.D. Jakes back in the news. T.D. Jakes, what's this evangelist Edomite chick that looked just like the Joker? I can't think of her name. Somebody help me out. I can find it. And Kenneth Copeland, they all said that the Most High had breasts. When I say breasts, I mean breastises. And then they use the term Alashadya or El Shaddai. They all said Shaddai means breast, which it does not mean breast. Shaddai means destroyer. If you really want to go deep into the root of the word, which is not even in blue letter, you got to go to the Ben Yehudi Hebrew dictionary, which Ben Yehudi is known as the father of modern Hebrew. These Europeans, and I'm getting back to the center, bear with me for a minute. These people from Europe, that the 1948ers, they didn't know Hebrew. They didn't know Hebrew. They knew German or whatever language they spoke, European languages. They needed a guy to revive the Hebrew language. So the Hebrew that they speak today, they got it from the father of modern Hebrew, Ben Yehudi. I forget his actual name. Somebody do the research, give me his actual name. You can find it all on Google. He made a statement. He said he found out that well, the question was, did anybody does anyone on the planet Earth at that time speak the original Hebrew? And he came to the conclusion, you can look it up, I don't know if it's still there, do enough research. He said that he came to the conclusion that Arabic is the original Hebrew. Anyway, let me come back to this. The assimilation between the Edomite deity Quas, and he looks just like two people. He looks like Dr. Brown. Dr. Brown looks just like Quas. And Quas also looks like Barry Manilow. Take the word Quas, which is a Hebrew word, and go to images, and you're going to see Barry Manilow and Professor Brown, or Dr. Brown. That's for you, Vocab Malone. And the Israelite deity Yahweh, which is Yahweh. Because that's the first. Edom, the parents of Edom, your parents teach you who. If your parents are Catholic, guess what? You're going to be a Catholic. If your parents are Muslim, guess what? You're going to be a Muslim. So, E grew up in a home that believed that Yahweh was a god. Now, when you go into the history, at one time in history, Esau said, we don't want to worship Yahweh no more. We want to worship our own God. So they make a likeness of what they look like to depict what they think their Most High looks like. It's a big, look just like Barry Manilow. So this is how we know what we don't know what the Edomites look like. They could be black. No, they cannot look like black people, so-called black people. They look like Barry Manilow and Dr. Brown, both being the same deity. Bullshit. Quas and Yahweh is not the same deity. Yahweh does not look like Barry Manilow, which is a small hat, a 48er, will be shown in the theophoric name of David's ark bearer found in the book of Chronicles. These theophoric vestiges in the books of Chronicles are the only biblical pericopsis that preserve the divine name Quas. And I believe in the Hebrew is Quawas, if I'm not mistaken. Is Yahweh, or it says Yahweh, an Edomite God. The Iron Age saw the emergence of nation states associated with specific national gods. Kamash or Shemos was the god of the Moabites. You have a stone called the Moabite stone, which was written in a cuneiform in the ancient Hebrew, the Paleo Hebrew, and it mentions the king of Moab at that time, King Mesha, which is the Mesha stele, the Moabite stone. He praised his god Kimash for defeating the Israelites, and he mentions the Most High's name Yahweh, and he mentions King David's name, and he mentions Israel. And if you put up Moabite stone Mesha stele, you can actually see it, and it's written in ancient Hebrew, Lashon Kodash. Like I said, Yahweh's name is mentioned, King David's name is mentioned, Israel's name is mentioned, and how this king is praising his god, which is a demon, Chemos. It says Milcom, the god of the Ammonites, Quas, the god of the Edomites, and Yahweh, it says Yahweh, but Yahweh, the God of Israel. We can go on and on with this. Okay, it says, are Edomites Canaanites? Edomites was a northwest Semitic. Canaanites, a Hamitic, Semitic Canaanite language, which is the Hebrew, which is Semitic, but the Canaanites spoke it because they were part of that region. Very similar to biblical Hebrew. Acronite, Ammonite, Phoenician, which is the Greek way of saying Canaanites, Amorites, which are Canaanites, and Sutin, spoken by the Edomites. So Edomites' original language was Hebrew, and southwestern Jordan and parts of Israel in the second and first millennium BCE. Millennium means 1,000 years. But look at this here. Let's come back to this. Who did the Edomites worship? I'm sorry. I don't want that. Who are the modern day descendants of Esau? Mention Russia, China, Japan, Esau. It mentions Rome, Venice, Germany. So here they are telling you the truth. Let me go to images. Look at that. That's Roman architecture. Now, if you were to open this picture up, they were the ones that set up the arenas, the coliseums, the amphitheaters, which was in a circular way so everybody can hear. Esau came up with that. A legion, which is military, that came from Esau. Rome had legions based upon Esau. So we found out who you are, man. Most High made the prophets to the nations. Jeremiah 1 and 4. I've made you a prophet unto the nations. So we know who the Moabites are, the Ammonites are, the Edomites are. Let me do this. There you go. Look at them. I mean, Edomites. Edomites. We don't know what an Edomite looks like. This is an Edomite. An Edomite woman. Kind of the yellow, orange, reddish hair. Red hair, red hair, red hair, red, orange hair. So you can't say that because you Israelites, you just making this stuff up as you go along. There goes Dr. Brown, Quaz, Barry Manilow, Edomites, the brother of Israel. They're gonna make a God that look like themselves. Look at that. Roman architecture. So it's clear, it's crystal clear. Petra, the end of Edom. Bible prophets predict these events. Prophecies came true. What is it? What is that? Filmed and edited by. Yeah, if you go to the New Compact Bible Dictionary, it says that they're going to suffer future judgment, and that's yet to happen. Edom, Mount Seir. This is in Jordan, by the way. Those are eagles on either side, symbol of Rome, the Roman pillars, the triangle, Roman, and they carved it out of the rock. And there's floors. When you go up in there, you can go up to the second floor. You see this here? Look at that. That's Roman architecture. That's Esau. Look at the people, the tourists. Those are Edomites, which is called Petra, meaning stone or rock. Rock. So the truth, now you can't say, oh, we're just making it up. Oh, you're just making it up. Let me try something here. Let me do this. The destruction of the Edomites, future prophecy. So
according to cielo.org.za, as Edom drank in rejoicing at Judah's suffering, so will Edom drink, this time not in rejoicing, but from the cup of God's wrath. As Edom has done, so will the nations. Nations will gulp down God's wrath and punishment to an extent that they will be destroyed, and be as if they had never been.
Ooh! Ooh, thank you, Sister Esau. As Edom drank in rejoicing at Judah's suffering, now what precept comes to mind? Obadiah. Matter of fact, let me go to that. Read the whole chapter, but I'm going right to the 10th verse. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off. For what? Forever. Forever. And the day that thou stoodest on the other side, when the Babylonians came against Israel, Judah, in the day that the strangers, which are the Babylonians, which were Assyrians, carried away captive his forces, took their shit, and foreigners entered into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem. They took, well, I'm going to take this, I'm going to take that, I'm going to take this, that. Even thou was as one of them. But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother, and the day that he became a stranger. He became a stranger. Neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah, because that was the kingdom of Judah at that time. In the day of their destruction, neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Distress of who? Of Judah. So what's the punishment? Does the punishment fit the crime? Yes, they're going to be utterly destroyed. 18th verse. You hear that, vocab Malone? You better hope like hell you're not an Edomite. Thou shouldst not have entered into the gate of my people. Matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? Let me do this. Let me have some fun with this. I didn't know what I was going to go into. I thought this was going to be a short video. It's kind of getting long. Okay. Let me come over here. Oh, this right here. The American Empire and its media. It's Edomites control everything. That's why you jakes that are actors, you ain't making no money. All you got to do is create your own, producers and directors. Get behind the scenes. You don't get a check, you write the checks. Okay, let me see here. Yeah, this man going down, and it may be this year. I want to go to Bible. I normally always go to Bible Hub. Okay, there, Brother Jacob, this was the great aggravation of the violence. Thou shalt not abhor an Edomite. And abhor doesn't mean hate. For he is the brother, was the commander to go outside, Deuteronomy 23, treachery from our friends and allies. Thou shalt be cut off forever, as the sin of Edom is concisely expressed in the verse by the one word violence, which the Hebrew word is Hamas. That's the original Hamas. The details of that violence being afterward given, so the punishment of Edom is here proclaimed in its ultimate completeness. The steps of his total extinction being in like manner afterwards described. The cause of Edom's destruction. The scene changes. Another picture of violence and cruelty now rises before the prophet's eyes. He sees Jerusalem compassed by armies, Revelation 20 verse 8 and 9, and overcome strangers, which is that time Babylon. Strangers carry away captive her forces, Judah's forces, foreigners into Babylonians into her gates, and there, not only standing aside in unbrotherly neutrality, but exulting with malicious joy, speaking words of proud scorn. This is what Esau did. Your punishment for that is total extinction. You heard that vocab? Doing acts of robbery and wrong are seen, the Edomites, the two pictures, one of the past, the other of the future. He is commissioned to portray before the eyes of men and to reveal the hidden link that binds them together in a relationship of cause and effect. Obadiah 1 verse 10 contains a general statement of the sin and its punishment. In Obadiah 1 verses 11 to 14, the prophet writes in the impassioned strain of the spectator and describes at length the sin. The punishment is further described in Obadiah 1 verse 15 and 16. Now let me go here to Obadiah. Let me do it this way. So these scholars, these Bible scholars know the deal, man. They know who they are. They know who the Edomites are. 18th verse. Cambridge Bible for schools and colleges. The house of Jacob, the house of Joseph, which is represent the northern kingdom, and Jacob the southern kingdom. Joseph is interchangeable with Ephraim or Ephraim and Manasseh, but both are mentioned to show that now we know that Obadiah 1:18 is not going to take place in the near future. Removed from the Babylonian captivity. 2 years later they burnt them up. No, it's talking about now. It's getting ready to happen. You Edomites will be no more, as Job 20, the 20th chapter says. Both are mentioned to show that the remnant of the whole nation, not only of the 2 tribes, but of the 10, is included. That means they got to come together. The same names are used to describe the entire nation in Psalm 77:15. You have with your arm redeemed your people, the sons of Jacob and Joseph, to the 2 kingdoms, northern and southern kingdom. Psalms 81, Psalms 81, verses 4 to 5. Any remaining, a survivor, the punishments here denounced against Edom is quite distinct from the earlier punishment of which the nations are summoned to be the instruments. Obadiah 1, 1 and 2. Right, because the nations are yelling at you too. It is that they're calling for your downfall. It is that final destruction, which is yet to happen, which they suffered at the hands of Jews only, first of Judas Maccabees, and then in their total extinction of Johnite bullshit. That's bullshit. Because if that's the case, where did the Herodian dynasty come from? Esau was not totally destroyed. That's the fulfillment is getting ready to happen. Let me try something. Take the word Hyrcanus, which is from this family of the Maccabees. And it shows you that these scholars they do follow the Apocrypha, because they mention Judas Maccabees. That's 2nd Maccabees 5, if I'm not mistaken. So they said during the time of John Hyrcanus that they destroyed all the Edomites. No, they did not. Where did Antipater come from? It's here too. So they know, but they don't know. This is Burns. It said 20 years. So they mention. Okay, wait a minute. It says about 20 years after Simon, First Maccabees 11, verse 5 of 65 and 66, and again to fortify it, and lying on the brothers of the borders of Judah. First Maccabees 14:33. I'm gonna read these. 20 years later, John Hyrcanus, son of Simon. First Maccabees 13, verse 53. Josephus' Antiquity or Antiquity of the Jews 13. Subdued all the not all of them, because the Romans are descendants of Esau, Edom, and permitted them to remain in the country on condition that they would receive circumcision and adopt the laws of the Jews. But John burnt up a lot of them. But he said, I'm going to spare y'all, but you got to keep the Lord's statutes and commandments. This they did, continues Josephus, and henceforth became Jews. Outwardly they appeared to have given up their idolatry, for although Josephus says the Edomites not accounted, calls a god, I guess that's supposed to be Quaz. He relates that after the forced adoption of Jewish customs, the laws, Herod came long after this time period. Herod, the Edomite, made Kostobar, I gotta look that up, give me a second, of this sacerdotal family, a perfect of Edomia and Gaza. Their characters remain unchanged. Let me read a little bit more. The Jewish historian, which is Josephus, which is by the way, that wasn't his real name. That was a name that the whatchamacallit gave him, Vespasian. He was a slave under Vespasian. He gave him that name. You know, like a slave master in the southern slavery. If the family's name was Smith, guess what? The slave's name was Smith. Joe Smith, Bob Smith, Toby Smith. The Jewish historian who knew them well described them as a tumultuous, disorderly, as a tumultuous, love to fight, disorderly, out of order, race meaning gene. You can have a black person and a white person stand together. If they're brothers or sisters, they're of the same race. Race has nothing to do with color. It has to do race meaning gene. Ever alive to commotions, delighting in change, right? They sought to change times and laws. Who went to the engagement of the feast by nature most savage for slaughter. They took part in the sedition against the Romans because they are Romans. The Romans descended from Esau, using as a pretext probably the feast of Pentecost, to which they went up with those of Galilee, Jericho, the country beyond Jordan, and the Jews themselves, just before the last siege of Jerusalem. And the Zealots sent for them on pretext that the city was betrayed to the Romans, which are the Edomites. All took arms as in, oh, by the way, you had Edomites that fought side by side with Jake against the Romans, against other Edomites, because they wanted to get right with the Most High. So you did have Edomites back then that wanted to get right with the Most High. going back to John Hyrcanus. After, after, after massacres, of which when told that they had been deceived, they themselves repented, they returned and were in turn wasted by Simon the Gerasene. Simon took it. He not only destroyed cities and villages, but wasted the whole country. For as you may see wood woolly barred by the locusts, so the army of Simon left the country behind them a desert. Some things they burnt, others they, what the hell is that? I can't even see that. Others they raised. Raise it even to the foundation, meaning tear it down. After a short space, the return of the remnant of Edom, and chasing the people on all sides, constrained the many to flee Jerusalem. They took part against the Zealots, were a great part of the war against the Romans, which are other Edomites. And remember, you had Edomites fighting against Edomites. You had Edomites that wanted to be kept the law, statutes, and commandments by order of John Hyrcanus. So they thought they were going to get the benefits that Israel got. You Edomites that fought against your fellow Edomites, you're still going into captivity. You know, it's not of him that willeth, because you want to be right. And against the Romans in Paris, rivals in a friend, what is that? Pharisee, with the worst Jews in the of that extreme, superhuman wickedness. Thenceforth, their name disappeared from history. Right? That's what. Oh, beautiful. Vocab said, "Well, where's Edomite mentioned after the Herodian dynasty?" Well, they were scattered, just like we were scattered. You forget about Hadad, the son of the Edomite king during the time of King Solomon, King David, King Solomon. He fled into Egypt and had children. That's where the tears come into, man. You just want the Edomites to disappear. The Edomites are here. Look in the mirror, vocab. You're an Edomite until you prove otherwise. Look in the mirror, Dr. Brown. You're an Edomite until you prove otherwise. And I say that because you're gonna have Jakes that look just like Edomites. So you could, and I told you to your face, I said, yeah, you could be an Israelite. You're gonna have Israelites looking like everybody on the planet. You're gonna have Edomites looking like everybody on the planet. What we did in being scattered, Esau did the same goddamn thing. And when they cheered at the fact that we were going down by the Babylonians, Esau was there. How many miles is that from Mount Seir to the coast of the Euphrates? I don't know, 200 miles. I don't know. I can look it up. I can easily look it up. So that proved to you that they left that area of Mount Seir. They scattered. You know, they had a diaspora as well. It says the greater part of the remnant of the nation had perished. Right, not all of them, in the dreadful extermination siege. If any still survive, and they did, they retained no known national existence. So the conclusion is, we don't know who the Edomites are. We don't know where they are. They are Edomites still around, but we don't know who they are. They mix. We don't know who the hell they are. No, they're you so-called white people. You're back in power. You're just not calling yourself Edomites. And the elite scholars know, they know that they're the Edom. They know that so-called Europeans, white people, red people, are the Edomites. They know everything. What we know, they've been knew. Existence, Arabian tradition preserves the memory of 3 Jewish Arab tribes known of the Edomites. Wow. Like I said, I didn't know where I was going to go with this. This is your future. You're going to have to be utterly destroyed after the 1,000 years. You're going to be gathered up and you're going to be burnt by the 2 kingdoms, because the 2 kingdoms are going to come back together for the kingdom. This is beautiful, man. This is beautiful. Now, what is Isaiah 34? Matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? Let me do this. Let me do this. Let me just take the word Edom. Go right here. Second Chronicles 25 verse 20. But Amaziah, which was king at that time, would not hear, for it came of the Most High that he might deliver them into the land of their enemies, because they sought after the gods of Edom. That's Quaz. So he killed Edomites 10,000 at a time, throwing them off a mountain. He got off on them, hitting the ragged bottom below, the ragged bottom. Let me see. Okay, when Joab returned and smote of Edom in the valley of the salt 12,000. It says, O power, thou hast cast us off, thou hast scattered us, thou hast been displeased, O turn thyself to us. So when did this happen? This is also spoken about in Kings. Moab is my wash pot. What does that mean? Moab is in power right now. They washing shit out. You getting washed. Edom, over Edom will I cast my shoe. The enemies, number 1 on the list, the tabernacles of Edom. So Edom is still here. Psalms 137 verse 7. Remember, O Yahweh, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, going back to Babylonian captivity, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. Payback is a bitch. This could be the year. Isaiah 11:14. But they shall fly upon the shoulders of the Philistines. This is what Israel's going to do. Toward the west, they shall spoil them of the east together. They shall lay their hands. We're going to put hands on Esau. We're going to lay hands on Esau upon Edom and Moab, and the children of Ammon shall obey them. That's getting ready to happen when the 2 kingdoms come together, and they're coming together. They just got to get that breath in them. It is again. Isaiah 63 verse 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah, dyed red because of the blood? And the Yahweh Shai is not going to have blood on his garments, literally. This is symbolic. It's poetic. This that is glorious in his appearing, Yahweh Shai, traveling in the greatness of his strength, the ships. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Jeremiah 49:7 concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord, power of hosts, of armies. Is Edom no more? And Teman, his counsel perished from the prudent, is their wisdom vanished. Also Edom shall be a desolation, Babylon the Great, the U.S. This Isaiah 34 tells you that this place, the U.S. America, is also known as the land of Edom. Look it up. Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. What plagues is it talking about? Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet. Zechariah 14:12. Behold, he shall come up and fly as the eagle, and spread his wings over Bozrah, and that day shall the heart of the mighty men of Edom be as the heart of woman in her pangs. And this the one flying like an eagle is Yahweh Shai. We are also referenced as being saved by an eagle. What is that? Exodus 19:4 on down, if I'm not mistaken. Revelation 12, the escape as an eagle. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go to them. So you got certain individuals say it says eagle. It's talking about Edomites. Nope. Sometimes it's talking about us. Here it is. And there's a future prophecy. Moses was a prophet as well. He was also a king. Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, or the Mizraim, and how I bear you on eagle's wings. That's parabolic for a great escape, and brought you unto myself. Where did he bring the Israelites? In the wilderness. Peculiar people. Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. 6th verse. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests. All the tribes, men, are going to be priests, and an holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the sons of Israel. Where else did I say I was going to go? Oh, Revelation. And the woman, which is Israel, were given 2 wings of a great eagle. What does the eagle represent? A great escape. When the Lord come back, he's coming back likened unto an eagle. Did I lose it? Behold, he shall come up and fly, who? Yahushai, as the eagle, and spread his wings over Bozrah. Now we know that ain't no Edomites living in Bozrah. Bozrah is talking about the new Bozrah, the U.S., Babylon the Great, Assyria, Egypt, Sodom. And at that day shall the heart of the mighty men of Edom, the Edomites, this is getting ready to happen, be as the heart of a woman in her pains. Lamentations. You're going to have to pay. Lamentations 4:21 and 22. Ezekiel 25 and 12. Oh, that's nasty. 13. Oh, another one. We got to start using this. Nobody uses this one. Ezekiel 32 and 29. There is Edom, her kings, and all her princes, which with their might are laid by them that were slain by the sword. They shall lie with the uncircumcised, and with them that go down to the pit. Isaiah 24. We're going to put them in a pit. Then we're going to give them work assignments. Yeah, this guy did the video on this Christian. Oh, the Edomites. We don't even know who the Edomites are. The Edomites are gone. They mix among the other people. Who is the Edomite? We don't know we know exactly what an Edomite is and what he looks like. Joel 3 verse 19. Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness. Edom, Babylon, for the violence against the children of Judah. Going back to the Babylonian, when the Babylonians seized Jerusalem, it doesn't mention Israel. It says Judah, because Judah was only the kingdom that was there at that time, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. Amos 1:11. Thus saith Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, had no pity for us, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. So payback is a bitch, and the ultimate payback is complete annihilation, complete extinction. Amos 2 verse 1. Thus saith Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Moab, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he burnt the bones of the kings of Edom into lime. Well, Moab was against Edom. So that's it, man. Y'all are done. And we know who you are. We know you're the Edomites. We know who the Edomites are, in other words. And that's it. And then now y'all beginning to admit to it. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.